What if confidence is not a feeling you have to chase, but a fortress you can build? What if there was an ancient blueprint for constructing a mind so resilient that it could stand unshaken in the center of any of life's storms? That blueprint exists, and it is the key to unlocking true, permanent confidence. Unshakable confidence in any situation. Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Core Principles of Stoicism. Imagine a colossal skyscraper, its peak piercing the clouds, a marvel of engineering that stands defiant against the forces of wind, weather, and time. We admire its gleaming facade and its impressive height, but its true strength, the secret to its endurance, lies hidden deep beneath the earth, its massive, unseen foundation of concrete and steel. Without this solid foundation, the entire magnificent structure would be nothing but a fragile, hollow shell. The core principles of Stoicism are this foundation for a life of unshakable confidence. This video explores Stoic wisdom as a path to emotional mastery, mental strength, and fearless living, empowering you to unleash your inner strength and remain unshaken no matter what life throws at you. Many of us are in a state of inner conflict, where we try to build a confident personality without first laying a solid philosophical foundation. We chase after surface-level confidence hacks. We mimic the external behaviors of confident people, and we recite hollow affirmations, all while our inner foundation remains a patch of soft, unstable ground. The problem with this surface-level approach is that it creates a brittle, situational confidence that shatters at the first sign of real pressure. A confidence built on external achievements, the approval of others, or a temporary feeling of motivation is a house built on sand. When you lose the job, when you face criticism, when your mood shifts, this fragile confidence collapses, leaving you feeling more insecure and exposed than before. The transformative solution is to stop decorating the facade and to start the deep, essential work of laying the philosophical foundation. It is the Stoic understanding that unshakable confidence is not a personality trait you are born with, but the natural outcome of a life built upon a bedrock of sound, rational principles. The core idea is that before you can build anything that lasts, you must understand the laws of nature. For the Stoics, the two fundamental laws for building a strong mind were, first, the dichotomy of control, and second, the principle that virtue is the sole good. The dichotomy of control is the simple but profound understanding that some things in life are within our control, and some things are not. Our thoughts, our judgments, and our actions are within our control. Everything else, the opinions of others, the outcome of events, our health, our wealth, is not. Unshakable confidence is born from placing all of your self-worth on the things you can control, the quality of your character and your actions, and becoming emotionally indifferent to the things you cannot. The second principle, that virtue is the sole good, provides the blueprint for what kind of character to build. It states that the only thing that has any real value in life is a virtuous character, defined by wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. A person who dedicates their life to building these qualities develops a confidence that is completely independent of external circumstances. To begin laying your foundation, you must become the master architect of your own mind. The first actionable step is to practice the dichotomy of control daily. Each morning, take 1 minute to write down one thing you will focus on today that is within your control, and one thing you will consciously choose to let go of because it is not. The second step is to define your primary virtue. Of the 4 Stoic virtues, which one do you need to cultivate most right now? Make that virtue your focus for the week. The third step is to consume Stoic wisdom. Read a page of Marcus Aurelius's Meditations or a letter from Seneca each day. You must learn the blueprints before you can build. The benefits of applying these actions are the creation of a solid, stable foundation for your life. You will stop the exhausting and futile effort of trying to control the uncontrollable. You will find a new, profound sense of purpose as you begin to focus on what truly matters, the quality of your own character. This is the beginning of the end of anxiety-driven living and the dawn of a life of quiet, unshakable strength. Your call to action is to perform your first act as the architect. Today, grab a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, list 3 things that are causing you stress. On the other side, write down whether they are in my control or not in my control. This simple act of clarification is the first stone in your new foundation. With this philosophical foundation laid, we can begin to build the first floor of our fortress. The next lesson will teach you how to construct a profound sense of inner stillness, the calm center from which all confidence radiates. If you are ready to build a life of unshakable confidence, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to the Stoic Power channel for more foundational wisdom. Lesson 2. Cultivating inner stillness. Imagine the eye of a hurricane, a place of uncanny, almost supernatural calm, existing at the very center of the most powerful and chaotic storm on Earth. This stillness is not the absence of the storm. It is the axis around which the entire storm revolves. It is the silent, stable center that gives the storm its incredible focused power. This is the nature of inner stillness, the second principle of unshakable confidence. For most of us, however, our inner world is not the eye of the storm. It is the storm itself. We are in a state of constant inner conflict, where our minds are a whirlwind of anxious thoughts, relentless worries, and a ceaseless inner monologue that critiques our past and dreads our future. We lack a calm center, and so we are torn apart by the chaos of our own thinking. The problem with this lack of inner stillness is that it is the very source of our insecurity and lack of confidence. A mind that is constantly in a state of agitated chaos cannot be confident. It is too busy being afraid, too busy reacting to its own self-generated noise. This inner turmoil projects an aura of anxiety and restlessness that both we and others can feel, undermining our ability to act with poise and precision. You cannot project confidence to the world if you are at war with your own mind. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of cultivating your own inner eye of the storm. It is the daily practice of building a silent, stable center of consciousness that remains calm and undisturbed, regardless of the storms of thought, emotion, or external circumstance that may rage around it. Through inner stillness and steadfast thinking, the video guides viewers to become resilient, draw strength from within, and live with unshakable confidence. The core idea is that this inner stillness, which the Stoics might have called ataraxia or tranquility, is our natural state. The chaos is an addiction, a habit of the untrained mind. The Stoics knew that beneath the turbulent surface of our daily thoughts and passions lies a deep well of profound silence and wisdom. Confidence is not about shouting over the noise. It is about accessing the quiet, powerful stillness that lies beneath it. This ancient wisdom feels alive because it gives us a path back to ourselves, a way to find peace, not by changing the world, but by changing our relationship with our own mind. To begin cultivating this inner stillness, you must become a practitioner of quiet. The first actionable step is the do-nothing meditation. For 5 to 10 minutes each day, simply sit in a chair with your eyes closed. Your goal is not to stop your thoughts, but to let them be, like clouds passing in the sky. Your goal is to become the sky, the vast, still awareness in which the thought clouds appear and disappear. The second step is to practice mindful breathing. When you feel the winds of anxiety start to pick up, bring your full attention to the physical sensation of one breath. This is your emergency anchor that can pull you back to your calm center in any moment. The third step is to create a sanctuary of silence in your day. This could be a walk without your phone, a few minutes of quiet contemplation before you start your car, or the choice to simply be in silence instead of turning on the TV. You must intentionally create the conditions for stillness to arise. The benefits of applying these actions are a profound and noticeable decrease in your baseline level of anxiety. Your mind will become clearer and sharper. You will develop the ability to respond to life with wisdom rather than reacting with fear. From this newfound inner stillness, a deep, authentic, and unshakable confidence will naturally begin to emerge. It is the confidence of the mountain, which does not need to boast of its strength. Its stillness is its strength. Your call to action is to schedule your first stillness session. Look at your calendar for tomorrow and block out just 5 minutes. Treat this appointment with the same seriousness you would a meeting with your CEO. This is your appointment with the source of your own power. This inner stillness is the calm center from which confidence is born. But a confident life is not a life without challenges. The next lesson will teach you the alchemical art of not just facing obstacles, but turning them into the very fuel for your power and confidence. If you are ready to find your calm center, please like this video and share your commitment to stillness in the comments below. Lesson 3. Turning obstacles into power. Imagine a blacksmith's forge. The blacksmith takes a piece of soft, raw iron, a metal of unrealized potential, and subjects it to a violent and stressful ordeal. He thrusts it into a searing fire, the adversity of extreme heat. He then pulls it out and beats it relentlessly with a heavy hammer, the obstacle of direct, forceful impact. He does this not to destroy the iron, but to transform it. Through this process of fire and hammer, the soft iron is tempered into hard, resilient, and unbreakable steel, capable of holding a sharp edge and serving a higher purpose. This is the third principle of unshakable confidence, turning obstacles into power. We, however, often live in a state of inner conflict where we see obstacles as purely negative events. When we face a setback, a failure, or a difficult challenge, our instinct is to see it as a sign that we should stop, as a confirmation of our own weakness, or as an injustice to be lamented. The problem with this mindset is that it makes us fragile and fearful. If every obstacle is seen as a threat, then life becomes a terrifying landscape of potential failures. We begin to choose the easier path. We avoid challenges, and we shrink our ambitions to fit within the small circle of what feels safe and comfortable. This guarantees a life of stagnation and regret. And it is impossible to build confidence when you are constantly running from the very things that could make you stronger. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the Stoic blacksmith. It is the habit of seeing every obstacle not as a roadblock, but as the raw material, the fire and the hammer that is necessary to forge your character into something stronger, sharper, and more resilient. The core idea is the most empowering principle in all of Stoicism, encapsulated in the title of Ryan Holiday's modern classic, "The Obstacle is the Way." The Stoics believe that the universe, in its wisdom, presents us with the exact challenges we need to grow. The difficult boss is not a curse. He is a training partner for your patience. The financial setback is not a disaster. It is a workshop for your resilience and creativity. The failure is not an endpoint. It is a lesson in humility and a redirection toward a better path. This ancient wisdom turns the entire concept of victimhood on its head. Nothing is ever truly bad, because anything that happens can be used as fuel for the fire of your own virtue. To begin this alchemical practice, you must learn to reframe every challenge. The first actionable step is to ask the empowering question. When faced with an obstacle, your first thought must not be, "Why is this happening to me?" but "How can I use this to my advantage?" The second step is to identify the virtue being forged. Look at the obstacle and ask, what quality of character is this challenge forcing me to develop? Is it courage? Is it perseverance? Is it compassion? Give the obstacle a noble purpose. The third step is to take one small, immediate action. Do not be paralyzed by the size of the obstacle. Take one small step to engage with it constructively. This is the first strike of the hammer. The benefits of applying this mindset are the development of a truly anti-fragile personality. You will no longer just survive challenges, you will thrive on them. You will stop fearing failure and start seeing it as a valuable source of data and strength. Your confidence will become real and battle-tested, born not from a life of ease, but from a history of having faced down your obstacles and used them to become a better man. You become the master of your own forge. Your call to action is to choose your obstacle. Identify one current obstacle in your life, big or small. Now take out a journal and write down 3 specific ways you can use this exact obstacle to make you stronger, wiser, or more virtuous. Find the opportunity in the impediment. Turning obstacles into power gives you the strength to handle the major challenges of life. But what about the internal obstacles? What about the powerful storms of emotion that rise up under pressure? The next lesson will teach you how to build an unbreakable emotional resilience. If you found this lesson powerful, please like this video and share one obstacle you now see as an opportunity in the comments below. Lesson 4. Emotional resilience under pressure. Imagine a great, well-built ship sailing across the open ocean. It is inevitable that it will encounter powerful storms. Resilience is not the ability of the ship to prevent the storms from happening. Resilience is the ship's ability to take the impact of a colossal wave, to be pushed down deep into the water, and then to rise again, shedding the water from its decks, righting itself, and continuing on its course, its structure intact. This is the nature of emotional resilience, the fourth principle of unshakable confidence. Most of us, however, are not this well-built ship. We are in a state of inner conflict, where we either try to foolishly deny the existence of emotional storms, pretending we don't feel them, or we are like a flimsy raft that is completely broken apart and sunk by the first large wave of anger, fear, or grief. The problem with this lack of emotional resilience is that it makes us terrified of our own feelings. When you don't trust your ability to handle strong emotions, you begin to structure your life around avoiding them. You shy away from difficult conversations, you avoid taking risks that could lead to disappointment, and you suppress your feelings until they inevitably explode in a destructive and uncontrolled outburst. This is a life lived in fear of the internal weather, and it is impossible to be confident when you are afraid of what is happening inside your own skin. The transformative solution is to become the master shipbuilder of your own soul. It is the Stoic habit of building a mind that is strong, flexible, and buoyant enough to handle any emotional storm with grace and to continue on its chosen course. The core idea is the Stoic concept of apatheia, which is not about being emotionless, but about not being overwhelmed by our passions. The resilient person feels the full force of the emotional wave, but they are not capsized by it. They achieve this through the discipline of ascent. They learn to see the emotion as a wave, a powerful, natural, but temporary event, and not as a reflection of their entire reality. They acknowledge the wave without assenting to the panicked thought that the ship is sinking. This separation between feeling the emotion and being controlled by it is the very definition of emotional strength. To begin building your resilient ship, you must practice your emotional drills. The first actionable step is to ride the wave. The next time you feel a strong, difficult emotion, instead of distracting yourself from it or acting on it, simply sit with the physical sensations of the emotion in your body. Get curious about it. Notice its peaks and valleys. See that it is a temporary wave that will eventually pass on its own. The second step is to practice self-compassion. In the midst of the storm, speak to yourself as you would a trusted friend. Say, "This is a difficult moment, and it is okay to feel this way. This feeling will pass." This replaces self-judgment with a calming reassurance. The third step is to have a post-storm ritual. After the emotional wave has subsided, take a moment to reflect. What did you learn? What triggered the storm? How can you build your ship even stronger for the next one? The benefits of applying these actions are the development of a profound self-trust. You will stop being afraid of your own heart. You will gain the confidence to handle any emotional situation, knowing that you can feel anything without losing yourself. This will make you a more courageous, authentic, and emotionally available person, a source of stability for yourself and for those you care about. You become the great ship, respected not for avoiding storms, but for sailing through them with grace and returning to port stronger than before. Your call to action is to choose your storm. Identify one difficult emotion you typically try to avoid. The next time it arises, your mission is not to fix it or get rid of it, but to simply sit with it for 2 minutes, observing it with curiosity and without judgment. Prove to yourself that you are the ship, not the wave. Emotional resilience allows you to handle the inner storms. But what about the external storms of confusion and doubt? To be truly confident, especially when the path forward is unclear, we must learn to cultivate a powerful mental clarity. This is the focus of our next lesson. Remember to subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue your training in the art of emotional resilience. Lesson 5. Mental clarity. In uncertainty, imagine a lighthouse keeper on a dark and stormy night. A thick, disorienting fog has rolled in, blanketing the sea in a shroud of uncertainty. He cannot see the horizon, he cannot see the rocks, he cannot see the ships he is meant to guide. Panic would be a natural response. But the keeper is not panicked. He trusts in the one thing he can control, the powerful, piercing beam of his lighthouse's lantern. He knows that even if he cannot see through the fog, the light of his lantern can. It cuts through the uncertainty, providing a clear, reliable signal for others to navigate by. This is the 5th principle of unshakable confidence, mental clarity in uncertainty. Most of us, however, are in a state of inner conflict when we face the inevitable fogs of life. When we face an uncertain future, a career change, a relationship doubt, a global crisis, we allow the external fog to become an internal fog. Our minds become clouded with confusion, worry, and a desperate need for a certainty that does not exist. The problem with this lack of mental clarity is that it leads to paralysis or panicked action. When you are lost in the fog of your own uncertainty, you are afraid to move for fear of making a wrong step, or you make a rash, impulsive decision just to escape the discomfort of not knowing. Both paths lead to poor outcomes. Confidence is impossible in a state of mental fog because confidence requires a clear, even if difficult, path forward. The transformative solution is to become the lighthouse keeper of your own mind. It is the Stoic habit of understanding that you cannot control the fog of external uncertainty, but you can always control the clarity and the focus of your own inner lantern, your rational mind. The core idea is rooted in the Stoic practice of prosoche, or mindful attention, and the power of our ruling faculty, the hegemonikon. The Stoics taught that the world is inherently uncertain, but our minds have the capacity for logic, reason, and focus. Confidence in uncertain times comes not from pretending you have all the answers, but from having absolute trust in your ability to use your rational mind to navigate the questions. Your clarity is not about knowing the future, it is about knowing how to think clearly in the present. To activate your inner lantern, you must practice the discipline of focused thought. The first actionable step is to externalize your thoughts. When you are lost in a fog of uncertainty, take out a journal and write down all of your worries, questions, and options. The act of putting them on paper removes them from the chaotic echo chamber of your mind and allows you to look at them objectively. The second step is to return to first principles. Ask yourself, what do I know for a fact in this situation? And what is within my control right now? This separates the fog of speculation from the solid ground of reality. The third step is to define the next single wisest step. You don't need to see the entire path through the fog. You only need to see enough to take the next right step. Focus all of your mental energy on illuminating that one step. The benefits of applying these actions are the ability to move through life's inevitable uncertainties with a calm, focused, and proactive spirit. You will stop being a victim of uncertainty and become a master of navigating it. Your confidence will become robust, based not on a need for a predictable world, but on the trust in your own clear mind. You become the lighthouse, a beacon of clarity and reason in a foggy world. Your call to action is to choose your fog. Identify one area of your life where you are currently feeling uncertain. Your mission is to take 10 minutes today with a pen and paper and simply write down the next single, smallest, wisest step you can take. Then, take that step. That is how you begin to burn through the fog. Having clarity in uncertainty is a powerful skill. But to face down life's greatest challenges, this clarity must be combined with a truly resilient and unyielding mindset. The next lesson will teach you how to forge a steadfast mindset for any challenge. Please like this video if you are committed to becoming a source of clarity and share your thoughts in the comments below. Lesson 6. Steadfast Mindset for Challenges. Imagine a Roman legionary standing in the front rank of a shield wall, the famous testudo formation. He's about to face a cavalry charge. The ground trembles, the noise is deafening, and the threat is immense. His personal fear is irrelevant. His confidence comes not from his individual strength alone, but from his steadfast mindset. He trusts in his training, he trusts the man standing next to him, and he trusts in the integrity of the shield wall. He holds his ground, not because he isn't afraid, but because his commitment to his duty is stronger than his fear. This is the steadfast mindset for challenges. This is the sixth principle of unshakable confidence. Most of us, however, face our great challenges alone and untrained. We are in a state of inner conflict where our desire to succeed is pitted against our fear of the challenge, and our mindset is brittle and reactive. We see the approaching cavalry charge, and we want to turn and run. The problem with a wavering, unsteady mindset is that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you go into a challenge expecting to fail or focused on your own fear, you will almost certainly perform poorly. Your energy is spent on managing your own inner chaos, instead of on dealing with the external challenge. A lack of steadfastness is a lack of belief in your own ability to endure, and it is this lack of belief that causes you to break. The transformative solution is to become the Roman legionary in the shield wall. It is the Stoic habit of deliberately cultivating a steadfast mindset before the challenge arrives. It is the understanding that your mindset is your most important weapon, and it must be forged, sharpened, and maintained with discipline. The core idea is that a challenge is a neutral event. It is our mindset that defines it as either an insurmountable threat or a worthy test. The Stoics practiced ascesis, or rigorous training, not just for the body, but for the mind. They knew that a steadfast mindset is a product of preparation, perspective, and commitment to a purpose larger than one's own comfort. This is not about a false chest-pounding bravado, but a quiet, deep, and rational resolve. It is the calm confidence of a professional who has trained for this exact moment. To forge this steadfast mindset, you must become a warrior in training. The first actionable step is preparation. Before any significant challenge, you must do the work. Research, practice, and train. Your confidence will be directly proportional to your level of preparation. The second step is perspective. Remind yourself of all the challenges you have overcome in the past. You have a 100% track record of surviving your worst days. Use your own history as evidence of your own strength. The third step is to commit to your principles, not the outcome. Go into the challenge with the mindset of the Stoic archer. Your goal is to perform your role with courage and excellence. The final outcome is not in your control. This detaches you from the fear of failure. The benefits of applying these actions are the ability to face life's greatest challenges with a calm, focused, and powerful resolve. You will stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as worthy arenas in which to demonstrate your virtue. Your performance in high-stakes situations will soar. You will become a person of deep reliability and strength, someone others can count on when the pressure is on. You become the steadfast legionary, holding the line not just for yourself, but for all who depend on you. Your call to action is to choose your next challenge. Identify one upcoming event that causes you anxiety. This week, your mission is to create a one-page preparation brief. Write down how you will prepare, remind yourself of your past successes, and define your virtuous intention for the event. Go into the battle prepared. You now have the principles, the stillness, the resilience, and the steadfast mindset. The final lesson is about bringing it all together, about taking this inner state and expressing it in the world through confident, effective action. Please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel as we reach the final lesson in our journey to unshakable confidence. Lesson 7. Unshakable confidence in action. Imagine a master archer stepping up to the line for the final winning shot of a tournament. We have spoken of her before, but now let us focus on the final moment. She has done the training. She has cultivated the inner stillness. She has turned her past failures into lessons. Now is the time for action. Her unshakable confidence is not in her thoughts or her words. It is expressed in the fluid, graceful, and perfectly executed motion of drawing the bow, aiming, and releasing the arrow. Her confidence is the action. It is the seamless unity of her inner state and her outer performance. This is the seventh and final principle: unshakable confidence in action. For many of us, this is the final hurdle. We are in an inner conflict where we can feel confident in theory, but when the moment to act arrives, a gap opens up between our inner intention and our outer performance. We hesitate, we second guess, and our actions are clumsy and tentative. The problem is that confidence that does not translate into effective action is not real confidence. It is just a pleasant feeling. The world does not reward you for your inner state. It rewards you for your actions. If your inner work does not result in a more courageous, effective, and virtuous engagement with the world, then it is incomplete. The final test of confidence is always and only in the arena of action. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic ideal of the unity of theory and practice. It is the understanding that all the inner work we have done, the building of stillness, the forging of resilience, the cultivation of a steadfast mindset, has one single purpose: to allow us to act with virtue and excellence in the real world. The core idea is that, for a Stoic, action is the final testing ground and the ultimate expression of our philosophy. A Stoic does not simply think about courage. He acts courageously. He does not simply contemplate justice. He acts justly. The goal of all the inner work is to close the gap between the person you want to be and the person you are in your daily actions. Unshakable confidence is the feeling that arises when that gap has been closed, when your actions are a true and direct reflection of your highest self. To achieve this seamless integration, you must focus on the moment of execution. The first actionable step is to trust your training. When the moment to act arrives, you must let go of conscious thought and trust the countless hours of preparation you have put in. Overthinking is the enemy of performance. The second step is to focus on the immediate physical process. Like the archer, bring your entire awareness to the small, controllable movements of the action itself. This prevents your mind from worrying about the outcome. The third step is to act, and then immediately let go of the result. As soon as the arrow has left the bow, the outcome is no longer in your control. The confident person moves on to the next action, without being emotionally attached to the success or failure of the last one. The benefits of this final habit are the achievement of a truly unshakable confidence that is demonstrated, not just felt. You will become a person of graceful effectiveness, able to perform at your best in any situation. You will experience the deep satisfaction that comes from a life where your actions and your values are in perfect harmony. You will become an inspiration to others, a living testament to the power of a well-lived philosophy. Your final call to action is to choose your shot. Identify one small but meaningful action you have been hesitating to take. Today, your mission is to stop thinking and to simply perform the action. Trust your training. Focus on the process. Release the arrow. By laying the foundation of Stoic principles, by cultivating stillness, by turning obstacles into power and pressure into resilience, and by finally translating it all into confident action, you build a life that is not just successful, but is truly and deeply unshakable. Unshakable confidence is not a gift, but a fortress built stone by stone upon a foundation of Stoic principles. By mastering your inner world, turning obstacles into power, and taking virtuous action, you become the architect of a mind that can stand calm and strong in any situation. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. We gently remind viewers to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for more wisdom on building an indestructible life.